Matt, thank you for joining me for my writing and communication interview. You feeling good? Everything's going?
Man.
Yeah, awesome. You are a man of many talents, but what would you consider yourself, like, as a profession? Like, what do you do?
So for the most part, I spend a vast majority of my energy like creating and producing music for artists and whatnot.
Awesome, Matt. What's your favorite part of that?
I would say the most enjoyable part of it is probably the writing process. Ironically enough, just the turning an idea in somebody's head into a lyric or a song.
That's awesome. What kind of writing are you into? What?
I guess from like a literary standpoint, it would easily be classified as more so creative writing, right? Like songwriting definitely falls into that category, but sometimes it is more narrative driven. A lot of times we are telling stories to try to bring about emotion. So it's kind of a wide, range of styles of writing.
Right. That's awesome. What are some of the difficulties you may have with trying to fit all these different styles of writing into one thing?
Man, I think the difficulty, if any, is there's the separation between like being correct from a literary standpoint and then being relevant or cool, right? Like so much of how people consume music now has no regard whatsoever for like being grammatically correct or correct from a literary standpoint, and we get to tell stories however we want to. Nevertheless, like you're always still trying to strive for one, excellence, and two, something that people feel. And so trying to balance between those two, something that's like a great piece of art, but that people will also like.
Relate to,
Man, that I would say that's the biggest challenge.
Okay, awesome. Well, here's the bigger question: is what's the importance of that? What's really the end game when you're writing and trying to figure these different things out? What's the end game for that?
I mean, I would say it's essentially that. It's essentially just what we talked about. Like it's trying to be. It's trying to figure out which one of those you value more, right? For some people, the art in and of itself, or just being creative, is the goal, and some of that becomes what we may call like critically acclaimed, right? Same in film. There can be styles of writing in film that are really abstract and garner a lot of critical acclaim, and then the stuff that you see in Disney is the stuff that makes all the money at the box office.
Okay.
So I think that's the goal, is finding which one of those you should value most given the project.
Right. That's awesome. Now every job requires some form of communication. Some don't, but most absolutely do. How do you find yourself communicating with others